Hey, good morning, everybody. Psalm 107. Listen, I just uh, reading through 107 this morning, and I just got a little pumped up and a little bit excited. I should have saved this one. I should actually be preaching on this one, but I'm going to get right to it. Psalm 107 is pretty long, but read it today, man. Just go through it and give thanks to the Lord. In fact, that's the theme of this psalm. Verse 1, give thanks to the Lord because he is good. The theme of this psalm, and we're going to see that phrase over and over in this psalm, is about giving thanks to the Lord and being grateful to God for everything that he has done. Verse 2, he says, let the redeemed of the Lord say so. It's time for us to say so. The ones that he has redeemed from the hand of the enemy. We need to stand up and give thanks to the Lord. And so then he starts talking about, starting in verse 4, he talks about how we were lost, how we were wandering around. We couldn't find a place to rest and relax. We were hungry and thirsty. Our soul was fainting. And then he delivers us, and he leads us in the right way, and he brings us to a place where he can meet all of our needs. And then verse 8, oh, that men would give thanks to the Lord for his goodness. And in verse 9, because he satisfies the longing soul and he fills the hungry soul. And then he goes on to talk about those who have set their lives in darkness. And there's just this in darkness that envelops their lives. And they feel even close to death. They feel death, maybe even long for death, but because there's just this darkness that is enveloping them. But in verse 13, then they cry to the Lord in their trouble, and he saves them out of their distresses. He has plucked you out of darkness. It's time to say so. Verse 15, oh, that men would give thanks to the Lord for his goodness, for his wonderful works to the children of men. And then it talks in verse 17, it says, fools, because of their transgression and because of their iniquities, they were afflicted. And here he's just, in this little section, he's talking about, listen, a lot of the things that are destructive in our lives, a lot of the causes of the reason that we are because of decisions that we've made, decisions that we have chosen to not follow God and not follow his ways. We've made our own choices and we've made a mess out of it and we've made a wreck out of it. But then we get to the end of the rope. We get to where we just can't take it anymore. In verse 19, they cried to the Lord in their trouble and he saved them out of their distresses. We need to be giving thanks to God because he even cleans up our messes. He redeems us. He delivers us. He satisfies our soul. He brings us out of darkness and he brings us out of the messes that we have made. And then in verse 21, oh, that men would give thanks to the Lord for his goodness and for the wonderful works of the children of men. And he goes on and he talks in the next few verses. He talks about sailors going out on the sea and encountering this great storm. Some of the things in life and some of the storms that come into our lives, they're not things that we have done. They're not things that we have made. They're not things that we have caused. They're not necessarily a darkness that's enveloping our lives. They're not anything about our soul. They are just real things, catastrophic things that come upon our lives that we don't know how to deal with. In verse 29, it says that he calms the storm so that the waves are still. And then they are glad because they are quiet. He guides us. He takes care of us. God is the one who walks with us through these difficult circumstances that we have absolutely no control over, that weren't brought on by us, but they just come into our lives. Verse 31, oh, that men would give thanks to the Lord for his goodness and for his wonderful works to the children of men. Let them exalt him also in the assembly and the people and praise him. And then he talks about how he takes a people and they're living in a place that's desolate and he gives them a garden. They're living in a place that's like a desert and he gives them a spring, a river of water. He satisfies our soul. He overcomes our circumstances. He is the one who causes us to rise above the hardships and the unfairness and the uncertainties of our lives. We need to be a people who give thanks to the Lord. The very last verse in this whole psalm, he says, whoever is wise will observe these things. Note these things. Note how God has taken care of you, how he's delivered you, how he's rescued you, how he's satisfied you, how he's shined a light in the darkness that has enveloped your life. So whoever is wise will observe these things, and they will understand the loving kindness of the Lord. When you realize the pit from which you were dug, when you realize the circumstances from which God rescued you and reached down and pulled you out of, then you will understand his grace. You will understand his loving kindness. You will understand his mercy. Today is the day to give thanks to the Lord. Verse 2, let the redeemed of the Lord say so. Give God thanks and praise today for what he's done and is doing in your life. God bless you guys. If you can't faith today with Psalm 107, then there's something wrong. Psalm 107. Get out there, faith today. Love you guys. Bye.